Mr. Enyart is here to help. Let's go!
Hey guys, Mr. Enyart here. Today we're going to be in grade 6, module 4, topic E, lesson 16. We're going to talk about a little something called common sense, which isn't as common as it should be these days. But in understanding anything, you need to understand the language you're working with. If I go to Egypt and try to understand hieroglyphics and have never studied it, I'm going to feel pretty not smart. So today we're going to talk about the language of math, the language of word problems, and how we can decide what operation to use and why. So the more we understand the operations, some vocabulary in there, but a lot of just common sense visualization of what's happening, then we'll know what we can write down to solve it and how to find the right answer. So stick around and let's do this.
So I know this is from lesson 15 and we're doing lesson 16, but I think it's important to understand that in order to use our visualization and common sense, we first have to understand the vocabulary. And with the vocabulary, we have to understand the meaning of not just the words, but the symbols that we're looking at in math. So it all comes down to the language, right? Understanding the language starts with understanding the vocabulary and meanings of words. And then it becomes very easy for you to use your problem-solving skills, right? And then also in problem-solving skills to use the main one, in my opinion, for math, which is visualization. So remember the importance of the language of math being a key to your problem-solving and visualization skills. So if I were you, I would be highlighting, I would be taking a picture of and rewriting this on paper. I need to know these terms and all the terms underneath and how I use them in the context of using a division symbol, a multiplication symbol, a subtraction symbol, and an addition symbol, and how I can make real-world situations out of these words and those symbols. So let's just look at some of the examples that are in lesson 16. All right, we have the sum of twice b and 5. So it wants us to underline the key terms, in which case I think sum obviously tells us to add. And then twice tells us not just times, but times 2. So we're looking for 2b, twice b, and 5 would be the sum of twice b and 5. The quotient of C and D would simply just be C divided by D, right? Because quotient means division. A raised to the 5th power, right? So that would be A to the 5th power. And then increased by the product of, I have to scoot it here, 5 and C. Now the product of 5 and C would be 5 times C. Increased by would be added. So we have A to the 5th power plus, and then we would have to do the 5 times C in parentheses to be done before that. Actually, you know what? I think it would work like this. Because PEMDAS would have you do this first, then the 5 times the C, and then add that to this. But I like parentheses. Let's go with that one. All right, quantity of A plus B divided by 4. Right? Simple stuff. 10 less than the product of 15 and C. Technically, I don't need parentheses here because it would work using PEMDAS, but you could also do this. 5 times D, which of course I could just write 5D, and then increased by 8. Okay, so you see how understanding the language makes it pretty simple to know what it's saying to do. All right, and to wrap it up, I'm just going to do 2 of these word problems, and then you can use these and reread them and figure out how and why I figure out what I do. But I'm going to start very simply by reading carefully. Okay? Always with everything, read carefully, right? This goes especially when you're taking medicine. Read carefully. Mark things you need to mark. We like to use the word cubes, right? Cube is circle, underline, box, and explain. Or, this is the plus, the minus, the times, or the divide, the equation. So Marcus has $4 more than Yassine. So I'm going to start there. If he has $4 more than Yassine, then Marcus would equal Yassine's money plus 4, right? M equals Y plus 4. If Y is the amount of money Yassine has, which is right, write an expression to show how much money Marcus has. Oh, I already did that, right? That was just kind of common sense. So Marcus would have $4 more than Yassine. And we don't know what Marcus's is until we know what Yassine's is. So M equals Y plus 4. I could also say that Yassine plus 4 equals Marcus, right? It's the exact same thing. And last one, Mario is missing half of his assignments. So however many assignments he has, divide that by 2. That's how many he's missing. If A represents the number of assignments, which it does, write an expression to show how many he is missing. Well, he's missing half of them, and half is divided by 2, right? Could I also do this? Could I do A over 2? Yeah, I could. Yes, I could. And that kind of looks like a 9, so let me start that over. A over 2, right, equals missing assignments. And that's it. So now, just for a little self-assessment before we wrap up, I want you to read this, pause the video, and work it out on a piece of paper. See what is a keyword, what should you underline, what helps you, what expression would you write to solve what it asks you to write for, and what numbers would you use. Go ahead, pause the video, take 5 seconds. Pause the video for as long as you need. And then I'll go over just number 1. I'm not going to do 2 through 5, but I will do number 1 after 5 more seconds. Pause and go. All right, so I'm assuming you went through number 1 and tried to figure it out. So it says Justin can type blank words per minute. Sometimes I like blank instead of W. It just makes sense. So he's typing W words per minute. He can type 4 times as many as Justin. Okay, so Melvin can do that. So Melvin's would be Justin's times 4. Write an expression that represents the rate at which Melvin can type. So I'm going to rewrite this that I wrote, and I'm going to do J times 4 this way, right? J words per minute times 4 equals Melvin's words per minute. And I'm done. How'd you do? Either one of these would work. But, all right, well, see you later.
All right, so hopefully that answers some questions, and the vocabulary chart makes it a little easier for you. But remember, just use common sense. But it's hard to use common sense if you don't have the problem-solving skill of visualizing. And it's hard to visualize if you don't understand the language you're using, and it's hard to understand the language you're using if you don't get the basic vocabulary or the meanings of the symbols used. So start at the basics, work your way up, and keep checking, trying, and working hard. All right? Have a good one.